When these two teams played one another 4 weeks ago, FAMU beat up Prairie View pretty bad out there on the field in a lot of different statistical areas in the game, in which they beat them 45-7. Now, this weekend, there's a lot on the line that these two teams are going to play for. They're playing for the SWAC Championship, a berth to see who plays against Howard University in the Celebration Bowl. The million-dollar question is, how is this going to go? How is this going to go down this time around between these two teams? Because if you didn't catch it before, I'm going to tell you something that you guys might not agree with. But when we get done with this show and Coach say everything he has to say, some of y'all might be mad with me. But I'm just going to call it the way I see it. Because from looking at this film, there's a lot of strange things that went on in that game previously. Could they end up rearing their heads again in this game, in which some things could possibly change? We're going to talk about it right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again, 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. Tap in and free to tell them to come on in. It's another positive vibe. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing. Because I look like, Coach, you see, Coach, you've been talking crazy for the past 3 days. I need you to relax. You about to give us something crazy and loopy when it comes to this game. Guys, listen to me. We're just gonna cut through the chase with all this right now. We're just gonna get straight on in this thing because I'm gonna tell you. I looked at the game film, Prairie View versus FAMU, Prairie View versus Alabama A&M, and then not Alabama A&M, Alabama State, and then I looked at a couple of other games where Prairie View played. Not Prairie View, but FAMU played throughout the season. There were some things that I've seen that continuously keep happening. You know, they happen from time to time out there on the field. One thing that I saw in a couple of games was when FAMU Rattlers quarterback Jeremy Musa started off a little bit slow. You know, I'm not going to say lethargic, but it was a little slow as far as with, you know, getting into the groove of things, getting the offense moving. And I'm wondering exactly how things going to turn out this weekend when Prairie View A&M come into Tallahassee looking to, you know, go ahead and bow up on them and let them know, hey, listen, we're going to go ahead and bring the intensity this week. Because honestly, truly, Prairie View A&M, I'm going to be real with you. FAMU brought the intensity so tough to you guys. I didn't know if you guys were still there on the field playing or not, or just going through the motions. And that's something that worries me in this game. We can rest assured, both coaches are going to have their teams prepared. But it's going to be up to the athletes to get out there on the field and compete in this game in the manner in which they need to. Because guess what? Coach Willie, Simmons, Coach McDowell, they're not getting out there to play no more plays. It's on the players. The players got to make up in their mind that it's our time to get this thing done. And looking at just how some things went down, I'm just like, man, this got to happen. Prairie View A&M, they met FAMU with the aggression on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, they got after FAMU's offensive linemen throughout the game, making sure that they were able to get back there and, you know, put pressure on Musa, or better yet, tackle the running backs in the backfield. But the only problem was, a lot of times those guys, when they making their move to get up the field, they're looking down. You got running backs running past them, you know, shooting the gaps on them, where they were just gashing Prairie View for big yards, big gains out there on the field, continue to keep them chains moving, and that was a problem. Not only that, but you got to tackle. You got to form up and tackle. You got to go ahead and bring that man down. You can't let that man fall forward. You got to take his behind backwards, because guess what? That could be the difference between them chains keep moving or you stopping them cold and they got to punch you back the ball for you to get the ball and take your offense and move that ball back down the field for you possibly to win the game. Now, FAMU defensive front, I'm going to be real with you. They're going to come after Conley all game long. They're not going to hold back and let Conley sit back there in the pocket and just do whatever it is that he wants to do. I'll say this. In the first meeting, I don't know if it was just by choice or on a play or two that I saw. The defensive end was spying to see if Conley was going to pull that ball down and try to run outside to get loose, to get them chains moving. You know, try to get ahead of the chains with that Prairie View A&M offense. And it just was not happening. If Conley want to get loose against that FAMU defense, He's going to have to be willing to go run that bad boy up in the middle, either between the guard and tackles. He's going to have to hit them A gaps to go ahead and let everybody know, hey, listen, you open up the middle of the field for me, I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to burn you every time you do it. Prairie View A&M, as I stated before, Prairie View A&M defense, they're going to have to find a way to get Musa rattled in this game. Jeremy Musa sit back there in that pocket and get comfortable. He going to pick you apart. He going to pick you apart so tough it's going to be like a 20-piece sitting on somebody's plate with fries and blue cheese. I know some of y'all out there like ranch, but Coach like blue cheese. And, you know, extra wet. Them bad boys just nice and crunchy and good. And they going to get out there. They go, hey, they going to skin the bones on them bad boys. They ain't going to leave no meat on them bones. They're going to make sure they pick it all off, letting Prairie View A&M know this is not your year. One thing I'll say is this. When it comes to the quarterback play, FAMU has that advantage over Prairie View A&M. Conley's going to have to come in this game. He's going to have the game of his life when it comes to throwing the ball. You can't go 9 for 24 against FAMU in the championship game, throwing 3 interceptions, hoping that you're going to find a way to win the game. The rushing game is going to have to be on point for Prairie View as well, for them to be able to eat up some of that clock, making sure that while they're eating up that clock, they're moving the ball down the field, getting first downs, and putting points on the board. Caleb Johnson is going to have to come in this thing and show up and show out. Ahmad Antoine, he's going to have to come in this thing, show up and show out. There's no cause for pause for Prairie View A&M in this game. You got to leave it all out there on the field, guys. There is no tomorrow. If you don't win the game, FAMU's going to move on and go play for that Celebration Bowl championship against Howard. Now, the receivers for Prairie View A&M, Savard Savage, Trajan Spiller, and Cavill, y'all got to catch the ball. If the ball hits your hands, you got to go and secure that ball, pull it in tight, and hold on to that ball. You cannot drop them passes. You cannot allow Bowler and those other defensive backs for FAMU to get back there and high point balls. If Conley just so happen to overthrow your behind, you got to go get it. You got to get on your horse and go get that ball. You got to find a way to make sure that FAMU is not picking them passes off and giving that FAMU Rattler offense additional opportunities to go drive that ball down the field, put points on the board. Because I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to say this right now. FAMU get up in this game, they're going to pin their ears back, and they coming after Prairie View like nobody's business. What they say, strike, strike, and strike again, they're going to be striking all daggone day long, and folks going to be mad and upset about it. And guess what? The only thing you can say is you was not warned. If you didn't see the film or have not reviewed the film and see exactly what's going on, that's going to be shame on you. I would also say as far as the running game for FAMU, look, the last time these two teams played, Coach Willie Simmons gave the ball to anybody out there on the team that wanted to run that bad boy. I think they might have had the water boy out there running the ball, or better yet, one of the equipment folks that said, hey, Coach, give me an opportunity. I can tote that tater for you. Go ahead and get them yards. Quez Yant, Terrell Jennings, Kelvin Dean, Kareem Burke, all of them are going to be looking to get off in this game. We haven't even talked about Jamari Shareed, who's definitely going to be looking to do his thing out there on the field as well. He's going to be wanting to go out in this championship game, leaving his mark on this game, letting everybody know he went out as a champ, as a FAMU Rattler, and they're going to take this party on to Atlanta to do what they got to do. Now, honestly, truly, this game, they say it's supposed to be some weather out there this week. So the running game, you know, if it comes down to the running game, I'm going to say right now that's definitely going to favor FAMU. FAMU is not going to back off from running the ball. They're going to look to try to pound Prairie View into submission, making them fall back from trying to come up in them holes and make them tackles. Not saying that Prairie View doesn't have running backs. I've stated to you 2 of them that they do have on their team that can get after it as well, in which they got Antoine Johnson and Burks that can get out there and run this ball. The $1 million question is going to be, who's going to be able to protect the ball, making sure that they're not making costly turnovers in the game? There's a lot of turnovers that happened in that previous game. FAMU was able to take advantage of them. When Prairie View throws pick sixes and you're fumbling the ball, giving FAMU extra opportunities to score off of your turnovers, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, I know some of you like, Coach, you done gave us this rundown on all of this that's going on. Who do you see winning this game? I'm going to be real with you right now. I like Trajan Conley. He's a great young man. I met him in person. We've had several conversations. I think this young man is going to go out there and try to do his due diligence as far as what he can for his team. The biggest question mark for me is going to be those defensive backs. Are they going to be able to cover FAMU's receivers out there on the field? In the last game, there's a lot. I mean, guys was playing 10 to 12 yards off. If you pressed, they was blowing right by you. So I'm kind of thinking that FAMU has that speed out there that's going to really give Prairie View a problem in this game. Prairie View's going to have to find a way to run up in them A gaps, the A and B gaps, to make sure that they're able to get that running game established. If not, trying to run on the outside or running end of the rounds and trying to run reverses and stuff like that, it's going to be difficult for them because right now, FAMU is playing at a pace which, I'm going to be honest with you, they're looking like they're very unbeatable right now. I'm just being real with you. I think this game, I honestly believe this game is going to start out a little slow, but I think in the end, I think this game is going to get out of control. I got FAMU by 14. I know y'all like, Coach, you tripping. No, I got FAMU. And I mean, honestly, truly, I don't want to be disrespectful and say 21, but I will say, no, screw that. FAMU by 20. I give you that. FAMU's going to get this game by 20 points. Again, I want to see a good game. I'm just going to be honest with you. I want to see a good game. I want to see both teams get out here and compete. The thing is going to be them trenches. If FAMU is able to push them daggone linemen back up in Conley's face over there on Prairie View, it's going to be a long day for him to try to hold on that ball, especially if it's raining out there. It's going to be an issue. But as I stated before, FAMU is playing at a level that we have not seen, and they're looking to take on all comers. This game kind of reminds me of the game last year between Jackson State and Southern. Jackson State beat Southern the first time, 35-0. They came back. They made an adjustment in the championship game in which, Jackson State was pulling players out because they was up, 26-0, I think, like the first quarter. And, pretty much folks looking at it like, they're not going to catch us. We just going to keep on making plays. Well, they got on their horse and tried to make a run, and then you sit there and have that what if moment. We all have what if moments. I mean, let's be real here. We all have those what if moments. And, it's like, what if they would have made this change a little bit early on in the game? How would the game have turned out? So I think in this instance, I think FAMU is going to make sure that they're prepared for everything when these two teams kick it off come Saturday. Like I said, I want to see a great game. That's all I'm saying. But honestly, truly, in the end, I think what's going to happen, Prairie View is going to start pressing. And when they start pressing, trying to make plays and get outside of the flow of things, that's when things are going to start going haywire for the team, and they're going to get behind real big. So that's my take on it, guys. Y'all leave your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts is on who you think is going to win this game. But, guys, until next time, be the one and lead.